Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the class. This is Mr. Neupane. So today in this class, we are going to learn how to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. So main goal of this chapter is to solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. So let's first see what type of equation is a quadratic equation and what is a quadratic formula. So if you see any equation in this format, ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, or a second degree equation, that is called a quadratic equation. The coefficient of x squared is a. You can see the coefficient of x is a b, and the constant term is c. And this expression is equated to 0. So when you have the quadratic equation in this format, then we can solve, or we can find the value of x using this formula here, where x equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Because here we have a plus and minus, we'll be getting two values of x. The reason is this is a quadratic equation, a second degree equation, so it has two roots. So we'll get two values of x. Let's learn how to use this formula with the help of an example. So here is the example. Solve the quadratic equation x squared minus 2x equal to 8. So when you look at this equation, you can clearly see that it is a second degree equation, so it must be a quadratic equation. So let me write that here. So what is given is x squared minus 2x is equal to 8. But what we have already seen in the previous slide is the quadratic equation should be in this format, equal to 0. So in this one, we have equal to 8. So what we do is we subtract 8 on both sides. So if we subtract 8 on both sides, we get x squared minus 2x minus 8. And on the right side, 8 minus 8 will be 0. So now this is the quadratic equation in the standard form. That is, we have the left-hand side equated to 0. Here, we can now find the values of a, b, and c. The coefficient of x squared, here we don't see any number. That means there is 1 or 1x squared. So a is equal to 1. A is equal to 1. B is equal to, b is the coefficient of x, which is a negative 2. And c is the constant. And the constant here in this equation is a negative 8. So we have a, b, and c from the equation. And we need these values in order to plug in to the quadratic formula. And if you remember the quadratic formula from previous slide, then the quadratic formula is x equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we are going to plug in the values of a, b, and c into this formula. So let me do it here. Now the value of x is equal to negative b, negative of negative 2, because b is already negative. This negative is here, and the value of b is a negative 2. So negative of negative 2, then plus or minus square root of b squared, b is negative 2 squared minus 4 times a is 1, c is, so here we are plugging in 4ac, a is 1, this one, and c is a negative 8. 4ac, and we have to divide all these on the right hand side by 2a. 2 times the value of a is again 1. This is your a. So now we need to simplify this expression to get the values of x. So x will be equal to negative, and negative will make that 2 positive. Then you have plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Then here, negative 4 times 1, negative 4. Negative 4 multiplied to negative 8 is a positive 32. Positive 32 divided by 2 times 1 is a 2. So we get x equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 36, because 4 plus 32 is a 36, divided by 2. Okay, we need to simplify a little further to find the values of x. So let me write them here now. So x is equal to 2 plus or minus square root of 36 is a 6, because 6 times 6 is a 36, divided by 2. So we get x equal to 2 plus or minus 6 divided by 2. So meaning of that is x is equal to, if you take the plus sign there, it is 2 plus 6 over 2. Or the other possibility is x equal to 2 minus 6 over 2. So when you take positive sign, this is what you get. And if we take negative sign, this is what we get. So if we simplify this, x is equal to 2 plus 6 is 8 over 2. Or the other one is 2 minus 6, which is a negative 4 over 2. So that means what we are getting is x is equal to 8 divided by 2, that's a 4. Or x equal to 4 divided by 2 is a negative 2. That means finally what we get is the two values of x. Hence the value of x is a 4 or a negative 2. As I mentioned earlier, the degree of the equation is 2. It's a quadratic equation. So when we solve quadratic equation, in most cases, we get two values of x. So in this case, the values of x that will satisfy this equation are 4 and negative 2. That means when we plug in 4 on the left on this equation here, it will be 4 squared minus 2 times 4, that will be 8. Or similarly, if you plug in negative 2 is squared minus 2 times negative 2, that will also be 8. So we can say that positive 4 and negative 2 are the roots of this quadratic equation. So this is how we can solve quadratic equation using quadratic formula. Thank you so much for attending the class. I hope you find this